Simon & Schuster Audio presents An Evil Mind by Chris Carter, read by George Newbern.
Part 1. The Wrong Man. Chapter 1. Morning, Sheriff. Morning, Bobby. The plump brunette waitress, with a small heart tattoo on her left wrist, called from behind the counter. She didn't have to check the clock hanging from the wall to her right. She knew it would be just past 6 a.m. Every Wednesday, without fail, Sheriff Walton and his deputy, Bobby Dale, came into Nora's truck stop diner, just outside Wheatland in southeastern Wyoming, to get their sweet pie fix. Rumor had it that Nora's diner baked the best pies in the whole of Wyoming. A different recipe every day of the week. Wednesday was apple and cinnamon pie day, Sheriff Walton's favorite. He was well aware that the first batch of pies always came out of the oven at 6 a.m. sharp, and you just couldn't beat the taste of a freshly baked pie. "Morning, Beth," Bobby replied, dusting rainwater off his coat and trousers. "I'll tell you, the floodgates from hell have opened up out there," he added, shaking his leg as if he'd peed himself. Summer downpours in southeastern Wyoming were a common occurrence, but this morning's storm was the heaviest they'd seen all season. "Morning, Beth," Sheriff Walton followed, taking off his hat, drying his face and forehead with a handkerchief, and quickly looking around the diner. At that time in the morning, and with such torrential rain outside, the place was a lot less busy than usual. Only 3 out of its 15 tables were taken. A man and a woman in their mid-20s were sitting at the table nearest to the door, having a pancake breakfast. The sheriff figured that the beat-up silver VW Golf parked outside belonged to them. The next table along was occupied by a large, sweaty, shaved-headed man, who must have weighed at least 350 pounds. The amount of food sitting on the table in front of him would have easily been enough to feed 2 very hungry people, maybe 3. The last table by the window was taken by a tall, gray-haired man with a bushy horseshoe mustache and a crooked nose. His forearms were covered in faded tattoos. He'd already finished his breakfast and was now sitting back on his chair, toying with a packet of cigarettes and looking pensive, as if he had had a very difficult decision to make. There was no doubt in Sheriff Walton's mind that the 2 large trucks outside belonged to those 2. Sitting at the end of the counter, drinking a cup of black coffee and eating a chocolate-coated donut, was a pleasantly dressed man who looked to be in his 40s.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?